Afternoon, everybody. Out with Ollie. I said Raleigh. My other dog's name Ollie. Going down to the gravel bar. I'm gonna. What I try to do is do content. There's thousands of, well, not thousands, maybe hundreds and hundreds of dog trainers out there in videos. Seems like the dog training business like blew up somewhere around early 2000, 2008, 5, 8, 10, somewhere around there. All of a sudden, that market was flooded with dog trainers. So the content that I do is kind of stuff that I find that it's just not out there. So this particular, I'm gonna try and keep it as short as I can, but this one is about dogs who have consumed large amounts of feces, whether it be rat or deer feces, raccoon feces, whatever. It's still disgusting, and it's quite scary when your dog gets sick and they vomit poo out their mouth. And that is exactly what happened to my friend. Took his dog out, responsible dog owner, had his dog on a leash, keeps a close eye on him, and somehow the dog had found a pile and ingested a large amount of feces, and he didn't even know about it until they took the ride home, and he smelt something like he thought his dog had gas, and probably did. But when he got home and opened the crate, he had found his dog standing up in the crate with just bile, thick bile, clear, dripping out of his muzzle, and just vomit everywhere. And there was no doubt in what it was. So he removed the dog from the crate, put the dog in the kennel, or in the garage. He has kennels that are outside of his garage, so he figured he would let the dog in there in case the dog had any more issues, which it did, and it threw up in his garage and stunk the whole place up. So it was quite scary because it was a lot to him, and he said he immediately, of course this happens on a Sunday too, but he immediately went online, and he said there was very little information. There was a few vets talking about color of poo, and like it's kind of like you step on a thorn, phooey, and you go on WebMD, and you, by the time you're done surfing the net, you find out you're gonna die. It's kind of like that. He said everything led to parvo, and there's people's stories on there, and then even on YouTube it was the same situation. So there was nothing he can do. The dog finally came around and started feeling better, but he wasn't eating, and his head was low, ears back. You could just tell. He said his dog didn't feel good, wasn't himself. Like I said, it was a Sunday, so there's nothing he can do about it. So he just waited it out. And in the morning, this morning, called the vet, and he has a really good vet. She owns her own practice. She doesn't belong to any conglomerate or anything like that. So, she's a real good vet. And Toshi, this is why I'm making the video, because has to happen. I mean, this is something. Dogs are just disgusting creatures when it comes down to eating stuff. I mean, they eat roadkill. I mean, it's they and luckily, they have this ability to retch anything out of their stomach that doesn't agree with their body. So unlike us, so they get rid of it and then they recover. But when you're talking about large amounts of feces like that, it's kind of scary. And so she told him, this is the information, this is why I'm making the video. Ollie, here. Ollie, here. I don't know where he's going. I don't know what's back there. Come on, let's go this way. Let's walk. Told him in 3 days, get a stool sample, because if you're checking for parasites, the parasites really won't show themselves for a few days, and they'll show up in their stool, and then you can treat any of that. They ruled out parvo. He's, she said that's a vaccinated dog. It's not unheard of, but the symptoms that he gave, the dog was fine the next day, and so they got really ruled that out right away. That's probably the scariest thing. You never know what's in feces. So that's what he's gonna do. And I figured I would just share that in case this situation happens to you. Now, this disclaimer is I'm not a vet. I'm just passing on a conversation between a veterinarian and somebody who had a scary situation with their dog. Now, nobody knows your dog better than you. If you think your dog has ingested something that shouldn't have, that's a whole new topic. But you have to read your dog and know if it's something where you might have to pay that emergency vet bill if it's on a weekend, like this situation was on a Sunday. That's usually when it happens, right? We all know that. So use judgment, but apparently it's not a huge deal, as disgusting as it is. Yes, your dog can eat that, and it's not really maybe, I don't know, like I said, read your dog, but it's not, the way it sounds, it's not a life or death situation. But you might end up with some parasites, some worms of sorts, so you just have to have your dog dewormed. And I think that's it. I might make a follow-up video, but I just wanted to get this out there because there's no information out there on it, really. So hopefully this helps somebody out. And I'm going to keep this one under 10 minutes. So y'all have a great rest of your evening.